Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, hang on really quick. I I don't know. Sorry y'all. How are you guys? Today is Monday. So happy Monday to you guys. Today was an amazing day for me. Again, it's very, very slow. Um, I haven't been focused on my business as much because we are gearing up for tax season. So as you guys can imagine, like I have been busy doing things. Um, so it's bittersweet because I just haven't had, like, I've been wanting to put a lot of effort into the things that I'm doing. So I haven't had much time to really sit and focus on what I'm striving to do. But I'm super happy. Today was a good day. Like I said, it's been very slow. So I don't have much work, but I have work, if that makes sense. Just not what I do every day, if that makes sense. Anywho, I today received a set of Bose headphones and I was super, super stoked because I've been asking for these. I've been waiting for these. I've been like, how come? Because everybody has gotten these set of headphones after being with the company for like 90 days, right? Well, I have been with the company much longer than 90 days and I did not get a set of Bose headphones. And for those of you guys who don't know, my Bose headphones are similar kind of to Beats. I would say just a little bit better possibly. But I'm not gonna spend money on that type of stuff. Like I'm not a I feel like when I was younger, that was more of my days where I would have splurged on a $300 set of headphones. So when it's gifted to you, obviously, I'm more than grateful and I'm happy to finally have my set, right? Anywho, I wanted to talk about this conversation, about women and having children and this talk of legacy, right? Obviously, you guys know that there is a viral TikTok video going around right now where this black man is pretty much saying, "Hey, look, basically shocked at the fact that a woman doesn't want children and then labeling her as being selfish for not wanting children." And I'm going to tell you guys right now, women, that is a red flag. Okay. When a man is telling you that you are selfish for choosing yourself and your happiness and what it is that you want to do in life, that is a red flag. That man should not be communicated with any further. Okay. It's time. And excuse me, you guys, I don't know. Maybe I should have warmed up my voice or something. I don't know. But it's time that women really get to a point where we stand up for ourselves, and we really stop taking a whole bunch of nonsense where we don't have to take it, right? So the reality of it is I'm not exactly sure why women are even engaging in these levels of conversations with men when what I do with my life is really none of a man's concern. Let me be very clear about that. Hang on, you guys. I am give me one sec. I might have grabbed it already, did I? Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to, man, trying to make sure I can kind of hit my pen while I talk to y'all. And I'm just like, I don't even know if my pen was ready. So, but anywho, men that say shit like that, excuse my language. No, not excuse it. You can leave my channel, right? But men who say shit like that, in my personal opinion, they have very little respect for the woman. And when a man tells a woman that her job here on earth or her purpose is to breed children, it's a very I don't know what even to call that, right? Because the last time I checked, I only answered a one creator, right? And I could have sworn that was God, right? Now, do I honor my mother and my father? Of course, but I feel like the only real person that, or I wouldn't even say person, the only real thing, I don't know what you, for the sake of the conversation, you guys, we're not going to get into technical terms for right now, but the only real thing that really knows my purpose outside of me is God, right? So it's very strange that we live in times where men think that they're fucking God. It's very bizarre to me. When a man tells a woman what her purpose is and why she's here on earth as if he was her creator, that's not how that works, you guys. And I love how the same kinds of men will use God and use biblical prophecy or whatever to try to manipulate the woman, but then somehow forgets that he too has to submit to God, right? So essentially, you're not here to tell me my purpose. That is not your job. And if you ever notice, the men who tell women what their purpose are, they barely know their own purposes. They don't have a purpose, even if they had their whole life figured out for them, right? Some men really don't even understand why they're here. And so they try to convince women of mediocre shit, and we're not mediocre. Let me be very clear. Women are not just here to have babies. And I would say that I need some of y'all to start understanding that, but I don't give a if y'all understand it or not. The reality and the way in which the world is going in and the direction that the world is going in, let me tell you guys, your mouths do absolutely nothing. The world is showing you. This is what folks don't understand. You can we could sit around and talk about it all day long, but the times are changing. The tides have changed, and they will continue changing until the lessons that need to be learned are learned. So this conversation of what a woman's purpose is, let me be clear, you are not God, therefore you cannot judge. Am I right or am I wrong? So I'm not understanding where men get off telling women what they think their purpose is. That's not for you to decide. That's not for you to determine. That is for God to determine. That is for myself to determine. Do you hear what I'm saying? When I sat down and asked myself what my purpose was, do you think that that conversation had included a male? No, it did not. That conversation was had with myself and God in my most intimate settings, and where I was able to be vulnerable and not have to worry about no man and his nonsense. The hell? And to say that a woman's only purpose here on earth, because I don't even want to get into only, her purpose here on earth is to have children, suggests that that's all she's good for. And let me be clear, just because because men are of the world, right? God is not. So just because a man feels as though a woman is only meant for one thing does not mean that that's God's purpose for her. You understand me? Because you're not God. And the Bible says to be in the world, but not of the world, right? So men are of the world, or excuse me, men are in the world, right? They're of the world, right? So if you're telling me things like, oh, well, limiting my capabilities and my capacity, what does that say about you as a person? That means that you have no love for me. There is no way you could possibly love me. If I sit around and I'm telling you all the dreams and all the things that I've accomplished, I want to accomplish, where I see my life in 5-10 years, and then you turn around and you tell me, well, you were meant to have children. And children are not a part of that category. What does that say about you? See, because I think we live in a time where men feel like they have to convince women that women's purpose, not like they forget that the woman is the actual woman. So you're trying to convince me of what you think women should be, and that what your thought process is versus what my process as a woman is two different things, homie. So I'm not understanding where men get off telling women what they think women are here for and what we're not here for. That's not your place. It never was. And when you talk and you tell women what our purpose is, let me tell you guys, you're speaking out of turn, you're speaking out of character. It's not okay. It's actually really not okay. And last time I checked, I know there's a group of you guys who go around and you call yourselves as men gods, but I don't see you as gods. I don't see you as God. Do you understand me? So this ideology, this idea that we can judge women, right? Even though said God can only God can judge me, right? That man is okay for him to judge and put down and limit women and tell her what she can and cannot do and what her purpose is and what it is not. That's not like you're not God, homie. I'm sorry. So women are not falling for that shit. Not smart women anyway. Now, when we get on the idea of women having kids, let me be clear. Not every woman is here to have kids. And just because she doesn't want kids does not mean that she's going to be a bad mother. Let me be very clear. In today's society, it behooves a woman to not focus on men, but to focus on her career and her education. Okay? When she is ready to deal with a man or play with a man, she is prepared at that point in time when she has her finances and her education, right? She can then, if she decides, right, to go play with a man. And I say play because that's what that is. I'm going to go play with a man. Oops, I might get pregnant. Okay. But guaranteed, she's got the finances now. So if anything were to happen, she's good no matter what. Hence, Kenya Moore, right? I'm just saying. That's a good example. She's a good example of that. It's very imperative that young women understand that their education and their money should be a primary focus. Men and boys should come later. If that's what they choose. So the idea that a woman is saying she doesn't want kids, let me tell you guys something. A woman saying she doesn't want kids is not really, and I love the young lady when she was saying it because it's true. It's not as selfish as a man that is running around knocking woman up after woman up, having baby after baby, and then can't take care of now one of them, don't want to be a part of their life, having so many that now all these kids is living in struggle and poverty because they daddy was so selfish that he could not keep his own shit to himself. That's selfish. You bringing kids in for the sake of your own goddamn ego, but you can't even raise the kid. You can't even feed the kid. You can't even put a roof over the children's heads. You don't even want to be a part of the child's life, but then you have some nerve to turn around and tell a grown ass woman that she is selfish because she refuses to give a man who may not even respect her, love her, or care about her or the kids. That's crazy. That's crazy. So it's not selfish for the man to not take care of his kid, to bring kids into the world, have multiple baby mamas, not marry now one of them, not take care of his responsibility, literally cowered out of his position, blame everybody else for why he's in the position that he's in. It's everybody else's fault. Even if he has solutions at his hand, he refuses to utilize them so he can continue being the victim. But the woman is selfish for refusing to even allow a child or herself to go through any of that. Okay. Let me tell you guys something. I have a kid because I wanted a kid, right? Let's be clear. I really wanted a kid. At least I thought I wanted a kid. I still like my kid. Did I know what I was getting myself into? Hell no. You guys notice I ain't had no other kid. I do not plan on having no other kids, and I do not plan on getting married. I don't. These are things that I don't see in my future. A kid? Nah. And one thing I've always said about me is if I'm going to have another kid and or be in the same position I'm at now, then I'm going to make sure that I'm living a quality lifestyle. Therefore, should anything go wrong, I'm good and my kids are good. Period. Period. This is why I don't have no other kids, because I refuse. I absolutely refuse to go through any more nonsense I don't have to go through. So when you talk to women, it's very interesting because men don't understand women are not willing to go through the shit no more. I know I'm not. I don't know too many, like, for real. Women are really not. When we say we don't want to have kids, we don't want to marry, it's not really a selfish thing. I mean, it could be seen as that in the sense that I'm doing what's right for me. I'm not really thinking about you, but that's not my job. That's not my responsibility. You are not why my purpose. Huh? How about that? Like I tell my daughter, you came into this world by yourself, you will leave by yourself. I'm not here to fulfill your ego. I don't give a damn about your ego. I don't even, the fuck? So it's weird when men say it's selfish, you don't want kids. No, you just need to move around to the women who do want kids. It is not selfish for these women to say, you know what, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing to be happy. Not at all. It's selfish of you to say what you say in regards to that, shaming her for not having kids. That's selfish. It's selfless for her to want to be able to contribute to society and leave something behind, right? Such as a legacy, right? That is selfless. So her saying, you know what, I want to contribute to society. I want to get my money up, my education, and be the best person that I could possibly be in this world. That's selfless. That's not selfish. That has nothing to do with the child. Nothing at all. So when men turn around and tell women, when women are already knowing that they're moving in the right direction, and here comes a man like, hey, by the way, that's selfish. Women don't, I'm gonna be clear, when we know who we are, y'all don't phase, y'all, like, your opinion don't change, not a goddamn thing. Okay? You can think it's selfish. You could think it's mean. You could think whatever the fuck you want to think. But I know that 2 + 2 = 4. So I'm going to stick with that. You're not going to convince me that 5 + 6 = 4. You're not. But that's what it's like men try to do. Y'all be trying to convince us that the math is math and when it ain't math and when it ain't mathing. You trying to convince a woman that is literally, that's why, I love my story so much, because now I realize why I had to go through certain things, right? Because if I was to go through my life the opposite way, I probably would be screwed up right now, screwed all the way up. Because I'm able to say, and I genuinely can say this, is what my life was looking like when I was dealing with men and what my life looks like when I'm not dealing with men. And no offense, but they tonight and day differences. I'm living a very nice life. And then I remember when I was dealing with men and what kind of life I was dealing with. How unhappy I was and miserable it was and sad I was. I refuse to go back there again. I'm sorry. When you guys got to understand, you guys are chasing after women that already know the game and they already know what's up. So when you sitting around telling her, well, yeah, you're selfish, her response to you is going to be like, and your point? And that's exactly what the girl did. She said, okay. And really, the next point would have been, and your point? For real. Because women, like I said, we're smart enough to know when your shit don't make sense. So you can shame now some women. And I was watching a live about Ashanti and Nelly. Boy, let me tell you, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about women getting married or pregnant before they're even offered marriage. I don't know that that's a win. I don't never know that that's a win. And I don't know that even a knock. What is them the shotgun weddings? Like I don't even want to. I don't even know if that's really a win. You know, and no disrespect to the people who've had shotgun weddings or got knocked up without marriage. I mean, there's no like I'm not, trying to shame anybody here, but I don't know if that's the end goal. It's weird to me, and this is only because it hits home a little bit. It is very strange to me that women will get all excited about getting pregnant, but don't have a ring on their finger and ain't been proposed to. Those two, in my opinion, and this is a woman speaking from experience, right? In my personal opinion, that is some of the most degrading shit ever. For a man to knock me up and not propose to me and or not have had a ring on my finger prior to. And I'm gonna tell you now, as a woman that's actually been in those shoes, I'm gonna tell you now that shit don't feel good. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not really for the idea of having babies outside of wedlock. I really am not. I don't know that I ever was, to be honest with you, but I know for a fact I ain't had no other kids because part of me is like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit. You're not putting me in that boat again. Nope, not doing it. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Ashanti and Nelly's situation, but I feel like she was better than that. I feel like sis should have been had a ring on her finger by somebody, not no baby in her tummy. I'm not for getting knocked up before you're married. I just don't feel like there's no commitment. You could be my boyfriend all day long. What the fuck does that mean? That don't mean shit. And real talk, it don't mean a goddamn thing. Anybody who's had a baby should know this much. It don't mean not a goddamn thing. It don't mean shit. The title don't mean shit. A ring on my finger means something, right? Women say it's security. I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, I don't be knowing. I guess it's only security if you get in the bag. Like that, I don't understand what the security in that is anymore. You know, but having a baby out of wedlock, that's not like. It's almost like we treat that like that's the end goal. That's not the end goal. I don't know why that was the first goal. Like I don't even get it. He's got enough money with all the money he been spending on her. He got enough money to buy her a ring. Why didn't he? Why hasn't he? And why did he do so before her getting pregnant? Ashanti deserves a hell of a lot better. And I agree. Oh, hang on. Give me one sec, y'all. All right, sorry. So we out here, we talking about legacies, right? And building legacies. And what does that look like, right? And building a legacy has everything to do with what you're leaving behind. You know what I mean? What you are being remembered for, what you were able to give society, and contribute to society, right? What you will be remembered for. Why you just Hang on. This kid is so I don't like the movement of my computer my phone charger. Hang on. So you got to understand that a legacy is not your child. It's not your children. It's not how many children you can have. I don't know why adults feel that it's cool to be riding off your children's success, because that ain't your success. So if the goal is I'm going to be here in this world and I'm going to just waste space and time and then get it off of the backs of my children, that's not cool. That ain't no legacy. That's your child's legacy. And it's unfortunate that they have to do the things that they have to do to make sure that you live according to the image in which the child has, kind of risen up to. Meaning that for the parents that do absolutely nothing and they waste space and do nothing, they don't live out their purpose. Your child becomes rich, right? For example, your child is going to be more obligated or feel more obligated. They're not going to be obligated, but they're going to feel more obligated to make sure that mom's got a house, right? Dad's got a house, right? And I think adults know this. People who have kids know this. Like I tell my daughter all the time, kid, it's my job to show you who I want you to be. Right? Meaning that there should be no reason why you're buying me a house. I should already have my house. And Lord knows, I pray to God I have it before she gets there. Because I pray to God. So understanding that your legacy is not your children, it's what you do on this earth while you're here, the impact that you have on the people around you, the society that you live in, right? The world around you. Who are you? That's your legacy. So if you die, hence, doing things that you shouldn't be doing, out there doing God knows what, being a menace to society, well, that's what your legacy will be. And remember, you guys have to come back. Everybody has to come back. You come back and you redo this shit until you get it right. So the more you choose to be a menace in society, the lower your vibration goes. And the next time you come around, you just might not be so lucky to be in the same body you was in. Real talk. You might come back as a dog or a freaking fish or something. I'm serious. So your legacy has nothing to do with a kid. It's all about what you do when you're here, what you do when you're here. Meaning that a woman who chooses not to have kids, she is still able to pass her legacy down. And she doesn't necessarily have to pass it down to her kids. It could be simply a memory that people just think of her fondly, and or they tell stories about her because her stories, her life, or what she represented was able to be passed down in such a way that it was able to teach children lessons. Like there are so many ways in which a person's legacy could be passed down. Right? Michael Jackson could have had not one kid, because low-key none of us really, I mean, unless you're following them kids like that, you don't know who those kids are for real, right? And half of us question, we question some things when it comes to those children, right? But I digress. Michael Jackson, with or without his kids, would still be Michael Jackson. Do you understand me? He would still have a legacy that he left behind because he touched millions and millions of people around the world and continues to do so today. That's a legacy. That's something that you can pass down from generation to generation. It has nothing to do with your kids, nothing to do at all. So are women selfish for choosing themselves? Possibly. But that's what that's what they're supposed to do. That is what a woman is supposed to do. A woman is supposed to be happy. Anything outside of that is not supposed to be on a woman's face. If she is crying, that means something is wrong. If she is not smiling, something is wrong. A woman should never, ever be in a space where she is experiencing unhappiness, period, by the hands of no man. That is not what she's here for. So when women say that they don't want kids, it is like I said, and I'll go and say it again, you are not God. Therefore, it is not your place to judge. Meaning that all these words like, oh, you're selfish, you don't know shit about shit to be calling nobody selfish. That's just the truth. God didn't come down to you and say, speak a word today. No, he did not. You're just talking out of the side of your neck, and you expect women to just go, okay. Those days are done, you guys. Those days are over. The days of women, acting like we don't have a voice and we are not human, like those days are done. So I'm going to need y'all to understand that women do not have to adhere to your rules. Women do not have to adhere to your thought processes. Women do not have to agree with you. And that is okay. Quit trying to tell women what we are, what we should be, what we think. Like, that shit's weird. It's like trying to teach a Mexican how to speak Spanish. It's fucking weird. And women, stop engaging with these men. Like, I'm not getting it. I'm not going to be on no man's podcast where he talking about I'm selfish, because to me, that's disrespectful. And where some women can handle it cool, but listen, I refuse to even be in the vicinity of somebody's disrespect and clear disdain for me. Because the fact that you could even speak that from your mouth, like, that's crazy. It's crazy to me that a man could call a woman selfish for not wanting children, but he ain't selfish for not wanting to commit. What? Listen, y'all, listen. This is why I'm single. Because I ain't got time for the shit. I don't. I'm not finna tolerate no man telling me I'm selfish for doing what I want to do and what makes me happy. That's what my daddy taught me to do. So any man that's telling me otherwise, listen, sir, I've been doing this for long enough to know that my job on this planet is to put a smile on my goddamn face. The fuck? Anything less than, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not an option over here. If you think you're going to come into my life and now my smile goes to tears and frown, oh, hell to the no. I was just thinking about that earlier. I said, you know why I'm single? Because no man can call me out of his name and think I ain't finna kill him and everything that he stand for disrespecting me. Like, I'm not that girl. I'm not going to stand around and allow you to talk to me crazy and disrespect me. I'm the girl that's going to get up and walk out. For real. My cousin said the same thing. The reason why, she's like, oh, you're such marriage material. But you're not, she said, but you wouldn't allow a man to talk to you crazy. No, the fuck I won't. You're not going to be talking to me like you ain't got no goddamn sense. Because the moment I talk to you like that, now it's a problem. It's a real problem. The fuck? So yeah, I feel like, men are going, the fact that y'all are even telling women that they're selfish for not having kids, you're out of pocket. You're out of line. And for any woman to listen and to allow that to change and or persuade her, listen, you need to get a little bit tougher, my darling. Because I'm not understanding. Like I said, I don't understand how we think that these men, they're fucking men. First of all, you're a man. So to tell me how to be a woman, you don't even know how to be a woman, let alone trying to tell me what a woman is supposed to be doing and what her purpose is. You don't know. You're not a woman. That's awkward, number one. So if you got a man that's more focused on what he thinks I should be doing as a woman, don't you think that's like a red flag? Wouldn't you think that's something to be kind of, aware of? That's all I gotta say, y'all. Food for thought. I'm out. Peace.